Good morning. I'm Superintendent Billy Parker. It's the opening day for staff and we heard you loud and clear, Scott County Schools. The vast majority of you prefer this video format for today's program. We hope that it shows how much we value your time and respect the hard work that is required to get ready for the first day of school. That being said, we still want to use this time together to start the school year off right. While a culminating slideshow from the previous year has become an unspoken tradition around here, it's also important that we take a close and careful look at what we do and why, to make sure we aren't just doing things the way we've always done them, just because that's the way we do things here. Let's all take responsibility for leading with initiative. Each one of us in big and small ways can set the tone, influence our culture, and shape the experience for our students and each other. You can only control yourself, but you can influence others. So let's choose to be proactive and be difference makers this year. As a result, we decided to start the 25-26 school year a little differently, to look through a new lens, if you will. Soon we will talk through the important points to remember and thoughts to consider for the new year. The details of the day and expectations of the year are of paramount importance, but we cannot take for granted the significant impact that comes from sharpening the saw. Sharpen the Saw is the 7th habit of the Leader in Me curriculum. We all recognize the need for balance and self-renewal in our physical, social, mental, and spiritual lives. But it's not always something that we give adequate priority. In language you can easily understand, it is as important as outdoor recess is to an excitable 6-year-old. Application of this principle varies from person to person, as well reflected in your vacation and summer fun photos. Maybe you long for a quiet time of reflection or are happiest reading a book with coffee in hand. Or maybe you recharge your batteries through travel. Some of you escape to the woods, turn a wrench in your garage, or sneak off to your favorite and secret fishing hole. I've also learned that some of you jump out of a perfectly good airplane. I hope the summer was filled with all the things that bring you joy, and that this time of rest, relaxation, and renewal have prepared you for the exciting school year ahead. Our profession asks a lot of us, it's true. Tomorrow and each day after, it will bring its own challenges. You can't be your best for your students, your colleagues, or your family unless you first take time for yourself. The most common question that is asked at the start of the school year by students and staff alike is, what did you do this summer? Remember what you did this summer so you can call on it as the year evolves, especially around February. But don't forget, in the hustle and bustle of a busy school year, to continually carve out time for what is most important. Don't forget to allow time and space in your life to balance your physical and mental well-being. Spend time with friends and do what you love. Connect with the world around you. Unplug. I must admit, I'm not the best at this habit myself. I hope you greet tomorrow and each new day focused and ready to make a difference, because, as today's program will prove, you have the chance to be a difference maker. Together, we are so much stronger than any one person alone. Let's continue to synergize, combining our unique strengths, perspectives, and talents for the benefit of every student and every school. And one organization we have synergized with for many years is Whitaker Bank. Today's breakfast and awards are generously sponsored again this year by our friends at Whitaker Bank. Thanks to this incredible community partner, the opening day program costs Scott County Schools almost nothing, but we benefit greatly from the continued investment Whitaker makes in our district, our staff, and our students. We are thankful for their long-term commitment and support. It was important to allow Whitaker the opportunity to share a few words with you.
Good morning, Scott County Schools. I'm Greg Wilson, president of Whitaker Bank, and also a proud graduate of Scott County Schools.
And I'm Joe Arnold, market president of Whitaker Bank, Georgetown. On behalf of the bank, we'd like to welcome you back to a new school year.
We recognize the critical role you play in teaching, developing, and supporting your students. Your efforts and leadership will have a great influence on their lives and is vital in developing our future leaders, future teammates, and strong communities.
At Whitaker Bank, we support you in your role. We live in the communities we serve, and we work hard to serve the needs of our neighbors. Our local ownership ensures that our reinvestment is in our communities. We understand that a Scott County preparing for tomorrow depends on a strong, stable bank that is committed to meeting the challenges of the future.
We appreciate our long-term relationship with Scott County Schools and are here to help you with all your banking needs. At Whitaker Bank, we are uniquely Kentucky. Welcome back and have a great year.
In addition to our friends at Whitaker Bank, we are thankful for our nutrition team, newly under the direction of Miss Christy Collins. Our nutrition team is who prepared today's breakfast for you to enjoy. It came as no surprise to me that feedback from last year's opening day captured the appreciation that we all have for opening day breakfast. Without our dedicated nutrition teams, it would not have been possible. I hope I speak for everyone in offering a heartfelt thank you. Thank you also goes out to our maintenance and custodial teams and new director, Greg Brandenburg, who put a shine on our buildings and grounds to make sure they are in beautiful shape and ready for students. I have to say, with the call for photos, a couple of folks in the maintenance department may still be working out the details of sharpening the saw and what that really means. But I think they seem to have fun wherever they are in whatever they're doing. As our maintenance and custodial teams have shown us, great things happen when we work together in a spirit of mutual respect and positivity. We want to encourage our students to be problem solvers, and I can think of no better way to model that for them than when we think win-win. When we look for win-win solutions, whether it's between staff, families, or students, our schools and our community truly flourish. Summertime isn't all fun in the sun. A lot of work is completed between district and community leaders to continue to make Scott County the greatest place in the world to live and learn for everyone. Take this bus lane here at Northern Elementary, a task many thought impossible, but now we're able to see the impact that this is going to make on this celebrated school on the hill. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news as I say, summer's over. And like this one, all roads lead back to school. As we start the year, it's imperative that we remember everyone comes to us with a story. And by our good fortune, we get to help shape the narrative. I hope today helps you decide what story you want to tell this year. Scott County Schools, we are ready. A hearty big breakfast? Check. Gorgeous buildings and grounds? Check. The vast majority of positions filled. Incredible teacher training opportunities completed. More than 80 new teachers welcomed. All thanks to the hard work, dedication, commitment, skill, and expertise of each of you. As your superintendent never ceases to amaze me the unbelievable things that we accomplish together. I also think it's important to begin with the end in mind, another key concept of Leader in Me. This spring we celebrated the culminating event in education as more than 800 graduates crossed the stage to receive their diplomas. As the school year starts, it's important to keep this milestone front and center. Graduation for students is only the beginning of their journey, but as educators, it marks years and years of collective hard work in getting them there. Helping our students, now graduates, make a successful transition to college and career is exactly what we are all here for and why we do what we do. Their bright future doesn't happen by accident or happenstance. It happens because educators like you made a difference in their lives, a difference that will last a lifetime. How do I know? Well, because we asked the experts, our staff, about who made a difference in their lives and why. Leah Griffin is a paraeducator at Western Elementary School. Leah didn't miss her opportunity to salute current veteran Scott County High School teacher Amanda Cantrell, telling us that Miss Cantrell shows that she genuinely cares about her students, not in just an academic setting, but on a more personal level. She gets to know her students and their special interests. She has helped me and many others in so many ways. Sarah Hubbard is a kindergarten teacher at Stamping Ground who fondly remembers Janice Moore, a retired teacher from Eastern Elementary. Mrs. Moore was always calm, no matter how loud and rambunctious our group of fifth graders were. She was the calm we could all count on. She made sure each of us knew we were loved, cared for, and that she saw us for who we were. There's no doubt that Mrs. Moore made everyone feel this way, but she always made me feel special. I'm so thankful for Mrs. Moore and the impact she made in my life. ECS math teacher Alexis Campbell reflected on the impact her former mentor and current colleague Amanda Sunda had on her as a student, saying, Mrs. Sunda was beyond a teacher for me during one of the most difficult times of my life. At the end of my sophomore year, my family lost everything in a house fire. She took it upon herself to get donations for my family to help us get on our feet a little bit. She wears her heart on her sleeve, and I hope that I can show that kind of love in my classroom. Darren Holt teaches science at Great Crossing High School. Judy Edwards was his 8th grade English teacher at Reedland Middle School in McCracken County. Mrs. Edwards changed his trajectory. Holt said, "She was the first teacher to tell me I was smart. It forever changed how I saw school." Felicia Webb is a kindergarten assistant at Garth Elementary. Tim Blankenship was her teacher at Prestonburg High School in Floyd County. The memory that sticks with me the most is when I was being teased in front of the class. He stood up for me while making sure the class understood that this behavior is not acceptable. This made a huge difference in my life. It helped build within me the strength to stand up for others. Preschool teacher Kayla Griffey was inspired by former Scott County Middle School teacher Eleanor Ratliff, who currently serves as a member of the Scott County Board of Education. "Being 13 is hard," Kayla said. Truer words have never been spoken, I believe, Kayla. Kayla continued, "Math was my mortal enemy, but Mrs. Ratliff was kind, patient, understanding, and motivated to help. I was the type of student that felt invisible, but she made me feel like I deserved more. She made me feel seen and cared for, and I will always use that model and mindset when working with my own students." Lemons Mill head custodian Chrissy Shell remembered one of the greats, retired administrator and former art teacher Dr. John Travis. "He was always willing to talk to me and give advice. He was very patient with students and kind." Brittany Rodman, counselor at Georgetown Middle School, loved Lisa Lair, a retired teacher from Southern Elementary. "Miss Lair made school fun. We were engaged. She participated alongside us. When I see her out, she never fails to give me a huge hug. It has been many years since little Brittany was in Miss Lair's first grade class, which to me speaks to the power and impact that Mrs. Lair had on her life." Caitlin Dallas is the new assistant kitchen manager at Stamping Ground Elementary. She shared how much softball coach Sabrina McCullough meant to her. "She gave me a chance when I didn't think I would get one. She always taught me that if you want something, you have to work hard towards it. She always motivated me to be my best at every game, and she never gave up on me." Ray McKinney is a special education teacher at Ann Mason who is thankful for Ray Wright, her bus driver in Stamping Ground, who served the district for more than 40 years. She added that he never had an accident or a complaint. He loved his students and gave all of them a candy bar at Christmas at his own expense. He really cared about each child. Also a teacher at Ann Mason, Barbie Langley celebrated current Great Crossing High School librarian Lauren Feeback. "I was making my college decisions and had several schools that wanted me to swim for them. She took the time to sit down with me and make a pro and con list on my final 3 choices. She wasn't asked to or paid to. She did it because she cares. She wanted to help me. I will never forget her or the impact that had on me." Clearly, the most difficult part of this assignment for us was narrowing down so many incredible and moving submissions to share a few with you today. They each reflected a common theme, one of caring, commitment, concern, and compassion. Taking the time, bringing life and joy and kindness to the classroom, making schools a better place. Bus drivers, coaches, cafeteria staff, mentors, teachers, principals. These people made a difference. They made a difference every day in little ways, a lot like the teachers who took the time to write teacher-to-teacher grants this spring. This program is generously funded by former teacher and current board member Susan Duncan and her husband. We asked Ms. Duncan to share the inspiration behind the teacher-to-teacher grant program.
Recently I was asked about the genesis of the Teacher to Teacher grant program, and very simply, many moons ago when I was still in the classroom at Scott County High School, my principal, Chip Southworth, last week of school asked if anyone wanted to apply for a grant program. He had some extra funds in his discretionary account and wanted to offer a few grants to our teachers. So I had an idea and I presented it and I got one. And it was a clicker system. And I had really been thinking for a long time that would help me as a motivator and as an assistant to help prep kids for the AP US History exam. I had realized early on that it was my students and me against the exam, and this was the best way for me, I thought, to attack that problem. And I felt so affirmed as an educator that I autonomously had a plan. I thought it was best for my students, and he affirmed that. And it felt so good from a teacher's perspective to know that a leader in the district was affirming my individual plan. So different from being handed a set of materials and being told, here, present this to some strangers. It felt great. And at its most foundational level, it was just exciting. I had excitement for that school year, different from other school years. And I think it bled into my students' excitement. And I know it bled into other teachers' excitement because they asked me about it. And so I could share something new with them. And early on in my teaching, it was actually the very first evaluation I ever had. I was brought in afterward, asked for a list of what I'm doing well and what I'm doing not well. And the list of what I wasn't doing well at that time was pretty long. But I did know I was doing one thing well, and that was creating an invitational space. My students wanted to come in the classroom. And I realized that early enough to know that if they want to be with you, they're so much more likely to do what you ask of them, and even more likely to believe you when you tell them they can do it. And that just made such a difference in my teaching career. Compound that with the autonomous feeling of I know what's best, and my principal's telling me that's okay, you do it. It was a game changer. And so I want to pay it forward. And in doing so 4 years ago, we came up with a plan of the Teacher to Teacher grant program where we could motivate some teachers who had ideas and knew that they knew best what their students needed and what they could use best to motivate those students. And so I'm proud we're still going strong 4 years later.
Susan and Scott Duncan have made a big difference for teachers who have received grants for unique, interesting, and innovative ideas these past few years. What could you do in your classroom with an extra $1,000? Congratulations to this year's winners, and best of luck in your pursuits to make every moment count, to take chances, and to make a difference in the lives of your students this year. Thanks to the Teacher to Teacher grants. The stories we heard today remind us that one of the most powerful ways we can serve is by listening. To seek first to understand, then to be understood. By seeking to understand each other, truly listening to our students and colleagues, then working to be understood, more often than you might think, you change a life just by showing that you care and are present. If we asked current students the important question, what educator made a difference in your life? The responses would include many of you watching this video today for many of the same reasons we've already mentioned. In a way, we do ask that very thing as part of our annual Teacher and Employee of the Year awards programs. From a slate of outstanding individuals and dedicated professionals, we select district winners each year that we nominate for state-level Teacher and Employee of the Year awards. And unlike previous years, this year we have already surprised our award winners by presenting them at times they weren't expecting us. Lakeisha Young, she's worked for Scott County Schools for 19 years. Her favorite part of the job is helping students to succeed both academically and personally. She's described as passionate, with a firm but understanding heart. As a kindergarten instructional assistant, she never shies away from hard work. For her students, she creates an environment where they feel safe and where they speak with kindness. She understands the big emotions coupled with the short attention spans that can come with these 5-year-olds. She also understands the incredible potential that we have here at Ann Mason. In her quiet and unassuming way, Lakeisha doesn't demand a lot of attention, but that doesn't mean the impact that she has on young learners goes unnoticed. Not around here. Lakeisha, we know that Ann Mason is really proud of you for many reasons, but today too, because you are the Employee of the Year for Scott County Schools. Congratulations.
My name is Lakeisha Young. I work at Ann Mason Elementary. I've worked at Ann Mason 15 years, but I've been in the district 19. Gary start year 20. And I'm a kindergarten assistant. My favorite part of my job is watching the kids learn and grow throughout the year, not necessarily academically, but just personally, accomplishing different little milestones that they love to celebrate, and so it makes my job fun. I hope kindergartners in my classroom find their love for school. Some of them, this is their first exposure, so try to make it fun, kind of get on their level, get into the things that they're interested in. So I just want every child that comes into my room to feel successful in some way. I truly enjoy working with kids because every day is never the same. Like, you come in and you just kind of got to go with it, like go with the flow, because you just don't know what that day is going to bring. So.
The District Elementary School Teacher of the Year has been in the classroom for more than 20 years. In this time, she has lifted spirits, shaped lives, and filled her school with joy. Every morning, you see her outside her school, smiling, waving, sometimes even dancing, setting the tone for the day and brightening moods. She's the kind of teacher who notices every child, fixes ponytails, zips backpacks, dries tears, and turns frowns into laughter, all while celebrating the unique potential of each student. Full of energy, she ignites a spark in her classroom, singing silly songs, marching to a beat, and bringing learning to life. Her love for what she does radiates to those around her. Among so many very deserving nominees, the winner of the 2025 Scott County Schools Elementary School Teacher of the Year is Miss Kelly Moses, music teacher at Garth Elementary School. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Oh my goodness. My name is Kelly Moses, and I teach music kindergarten through 5th grade at the Garth Elementary School. And this should be year 25. For my classroom, for my new kids coming in, I want them, as always, to feel safe, to try new things, to share if they like. We're all gonna try something new, we're all gonna have a good time, and we're gonna learn along the way. So I'm excited to see my new babies coming in and welcome them into my environment where we try our best to leave our troubles outside and come in and be in a new environment where you can just be a kid. Well, I hope they know that once they are a student of mine, it's kind of a forever thing. And I just follow their progress everywhere they go. I'm all in, and I care about, all parts of their lives. I want them to know that they have support no matter where they go, no matter what they do. It doesn't have to be something musical. I just want them to be successful and cared for and know that somebody's always there to show up.
The High School Teacher of the Year is described as a motivational force of nature. She pours into her students, providing structure without rigidity, feedback without discouragement, and high expectations without losing compassion. This English teacher has a deep love for words, but an even deeper respect for the students reading and writing them. Her classroom is a space for critical thinking, open discussion, and personal reflection, where ideas are challenged respectfully and creativity is welcomed. The 2025 Scott County Schools High School Teacher of the Year is Emily Sambrook from Elkhorn Crossing School.
When I'm working on creating new things and sharing with other people, my goal is just to better understand a new concept that we're working on at school for myself, and then to help others better understand it. And I also want to address people's frustrations, especially if there's a new concept and we don't have a lot of easy to use materials to roll it out. I want to help people roll things out easily. Find a group of educators who have similar goals to you at a school where people are excited about working with students, and it'll be a great experience. We've got the best group of teachers. Everyone has great teachers, but I'm gonna be honest, I think that we are the best. And everyone is so happy to be there. And that's just, the energy is just unmatched at any school I've ever been at. I'm always working just for myself and to help others, and I just didn't really expect to be recognized for that. And I really appreciate the recognition.
Our Middle School Teacher of the Year is an exceptional teacher who values building strong relationships with her students and creates a classroom where everyone feels valued and supported. And let's be honest, keeping the attention of a room full of energetic 11 to 14-year-olds is in and of itself deserving of an award. Her experience in emergency services comes in pretty handy as well in her classroom, I'm sure also. Our Middle School Teacher of the Year has deep love for kids and a belief in the power of those messy and magical years. Could I have a drum roll, please? The 2025 Scott County Schools Middle School Teacher of the Year is Miss Laura Hoffman from Georgetown Middle School.
I'm Laura Hoffman. This is my 4th year teaching. I teach English Language Arts, 7th grade. I was a 911 dispatcher for 12 years before I started teaching. I feel like I always knew that I wanted to teach. My best friend told me, like, the day after I graduated college, you should have been a teacher. And it kind of haunted me for a while. And I was like, I really should have been a teacher. Like, I went to Georgetown Middle School, and I knew if I was going to teach that it was going to be at GMS. Like, I would work forever if I had to try to get to GMS. It's where I had my favorite teachers. It's where I met some of my longest life friends. It's just a very important place to me, and I love being there to make that a special place for students today. Middle school's so weird, but it's the fun place. It's awkward and smelly sometimes, but I mean, it's where they're finding themselves and pushing themselves, and it's just a fun place to be. Oh gosh, I love my GMS family so much. They push me, they support me. I feel loved by everybody in that building, and I hope they know I love them too. It is tight-knit, and I came from a profession before that was, a tight-knit family, and it's the same kind of thing. You're in the trenches together, you've got each other's back, and you know you've got somebody in your corner no matter what.
Last year we filmed the opening day video at one school. I hope you noticed that we tried to involve many different locations this year because we have so many great people working in so many great places across the district. As our district grows, we find ourselves in need of more great places. Which brings us here to the location of the new Oxford Elementary, home of the Oxford Owls. Located off of US 62, the opening of Oxford Elementary will be our 10th elementary school. But until then, we still have this school year to get under our belts. Tomorrow, nearly 10,000 students will wake up and walk through the doors of our schools to be greeted and nurtured, inspired and supported, challenged and protected by nearly 2,000 employees. What we are asking of you is not easy, not in the slightest. But you know what? I feel like at this point, nothing new needs to be said. In Scott County, our mission is unchanged: to provide meaningful opportunities for our students. I've been saying this for the last 4 years and anticipate me saying this for the next 4. Our ship is on its course, and while we will certainly make mid-course adjustments and corrections, we know where we are headed. We know our mission, and I share our vision so often that I've had students recite it back to me unprovoked across the district. We are on a good path, headed for great things ahead. With the foundation of Leader in Me and Profile of a Learner to build upon, we can do anything. We are growing and we are going places in Scott County. But we couldn't do it without each of you. As we welcome our students in the bright new school year ahead, I encourage you to make the most of each moment and remember that every day is an interview, because you never know which moment will be the one that is unforgettable for your students. Never forget that education is the vehicle of hope and opportunity, and Scott County is the greatest place in the world to live and learn for everyone. I hope that you enter this year believing that you make a difference, because I know that you will. We do ask that very thing as part of our annual Teacher and Employee of the Year Award winners. That'll help me realize we're at the end. So big finish, strong. So I'll do this one like this. He missed another one. He missed another one. Important as, did I say it right? Let's start over, sorry. It is as important, I think I missed an as. It is as important as. I'm flipping the script and serving verbs up in here. All right. Tell those insurance companies you mean business. Bus or in the bus's badonkadonk, I promise you, Scott County Schools is going to be ready for you, children. Oh yeah! Fun in the sun. Just as I can guarantee you to be serenaded by the roosters of the region when you come to Northern Elementary, I can guarantee you just as much that our district team has done a lot this summer. I don't know. This school year to get under our belts. Tomorrow, nearly 10,000. I messed up. Well, do you hear me, brother? You better be taking care and doing all the things you need to be doing all year long, boys and girls. Take your vitamins and listen to your teachers. We can do anything. The possibilities are endless. How about that? How about that? No, they didn't like that. All right.